365 million. That is approximately how many guns are currently legally owned in the United States. This number is larger than the current population in the United States as a whole. We as citizens are surrounded by guns every day, and those who own these guns feel strongly on keeping their right to bear arms. This is a case for gun rights. Argument number 1. Laws that increase gun control infringe upon a citizen's right to protect themselves, thus denying the necessary sense of safety. Due to the sheer number of people in the United States, we must realize that it is absolutely impossible for the police and/or public safety officers to protect all of us at all times. Those in favor of gun rights argue that because citizens currently have the right to own guns, that these guns protect when public safety figures cannot. You do not even need to be an avid watcher of the news to recognize the number of crimes committed each day from all corners of the United States. This boils down to the absolute truth that there are bad people in this world, and those in favor of gun rights continuously cite the now famous quote from the National Rifle Association's Executive Vice President, Wayne Pierre, that the only thing that stops a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun. And it appears that gun owners agree with LaPierre's statement, with a 2013 Pew Foundation report finding that 79% of male gun owners and 80% of female gun owners saying that owning a gun makes them feel safer. From 1999 to 2013, the majority of gun owners have shifted their primary reason for owning a firearm from hunting to protection and safety. With these two primary reasons in mind, let us transition to argument number 2. Increasing gun control will not prevent dangerous criminals from obtaining guns. For this argument, gun rights activists look no further than the Windy City of Chicago, home of President Barack Obama and his former chief of staff turned mayor, Rahm Emanuel. Many would argue that Chicago has one of the strictest, if not the strictest, gun laws in America. Even with these laws in place, the city of Chicago from 2010 to 2015 has averaged over 2,200 shootings per year, with nearly 380 people dying on average every year from those shootings. It got to a point that in 2012, Mayor Rahm Emanuel said that a significant milestone has been reached when Chicago went murder-free for a 24-hour period. Richard Pearson, executive director of the Illinois State Rifle Association, stated back in 2013 that the gun laws in Chicago only restrict the law-abiding citizens, and they've essentially made the citizens prey. A Bureau of Justice Statistics May 2013 report showed that just over 37% of state prisoners who possessed a firearm when they committed a crime obtained the gun from a friend or family member. Gun control advocates see these facts and recognize that there will always be criminals and there will always be guns. So why unarm the innocent to benefit the dangerous? Argument number 3. The Second Amendment of the U.S. Constitution protects an individual's right to own a gun. Possibly the most common argument presented by gun rights activists boils it all down to the core of their belief, that it is their constitutional right to own a gun. The Second Amendment states, "A well-regulated militia, being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed." While those in favor of increased gun control tend to focus on a well-regulated militia, advocates for gun rights focus on the phrase, "The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed." It would appear from a bystander's point of view that the latter string of words is more relevant and clear than the increased gun control argument that the militia was the focus of the framers' mindset. From a legal standpoint, the Supreme Court has been relatively busy in recent years with gun rights rulings. First, with the 2008 landmark case District of Columbia v. Heller, the Supreme Court held in a 5-4 decision that the Second Amendment protects an individual's right to possess a firearm unconnected with the service in the militia. The other recent landmark case was in 2010 with McDonald v. Chicago, where the court held in another 5-4 decision that the Second Amendment right to keep and bear arms for self-defense in one's own home is fully applicable to the states through the 14th Amendment. Both of these landmark cases became monumental wins for gun rights activists, and groups such as the National Rifle Association, Second Amendment Foundation, and the National Association for Gun Rights each cite these two cases often for their philosophical purposes. We all must recognize that the Second Amendment is by far the most debated amendment, and this issue will continue to be debated through the 2016 election and beyond. Thank you for watching. On this channel, I present both sides of an issue in hopes of our country having a more informed and involved electorate. So click here if you would like to watch my video on increased gun control.